If you want a unique and stylish crossover for just under 1.5 million, then this could be the one. Welcome to the Garage and Ride By. If you've been following automotive news lately, then ang big news on the MG brand has been their updated ZS, especially yung kanyang hybrid variant, which offers a very smooth and capable hybrid drivetrain with all of the latest comfort and safety features for a little over 1.3 million. Now, there is one model up in the MG lineup that also deserves notice, because especially if you're looking for something that is roomier than the ZS, and it is this one. It is called the One. So the One is at almost 4.6 meters long, and the wheelbase niya is almost 2.6 meters. So that gives you a little more space that you can feel, especially dun sa loob para sa mga pasahero na more of a malalaking tao compared to the ZS. So there's only one engine option for the One. It is a 1.5-liter turbocharged inline-4. Output is about 167 horsepower and 275 Nm of torque. This is the same engine you can find in the GT, I believe, and also in the turbo variant of the ZS na hindi hybrid. Okay, so if you look here closely, there's decent space to work on it for mechanics, so hindi siya sobrang sikip. And I like that they have these hydraulic prop rods for the hood. Hindi siya yung chitipay na manual nilalagay mo pa. So I like those little details. So aesthetically, the One may be one of the most stylish crossovers right now in the market. So if you look closely here at the hood, ang ganda ng bulge niya dito sa gitna. It's sort of like a power bulge to emphasize yung the power of the engine. Yung grille niya is this parang 3D design, so may slats, mini slats here that are jutting out, and then of course it provides a lot of useful airflow. May lip pa siya dito for some ground effect, I think. Yung tires niya, yung wheels and tires niya, especially for the Lux variant, 19 inches yan. These are Continental Premium Contact 6, sized 225 50 series, 19s. So good solid spec, and the One has all-disc brakes. Of course, it has ABS, no? Along the side, you'll notice very pronounced yung mga character lines niya here dun sa may that waistline. The sweep of the A-pillar is a very smooth taper here towards the back where it ends in a ducktail. So all blackout yung roof, two-tone siya. The color is called Fizzy Orange. The D-pillar here, may texture siya na parang crystal effect. Of course, it's just plastic. And then this one here, yung aluminum trim, it's supposed to look like chrome. But it's not, it's just, I think it's plastic. Roof rails niya, again, tawag dito, hindi siya powder coated eh. It's just a smooth silver, aluminum silver effect. And I like that these door handles are real door handles. If you notice lately, yung mga uso ngayon is yung mga pop-out na door handles, yung mga hidden ganun-ganon. Like with the GAC M-Zoom, it may motor siya na lumalabas pa yung handle. This one is a traditional, big, solid door handle. You can't miss it. And then there's a little button here just to lock the car. Wait, susi. Joke lang. So, functionally, meron din siyang cladding here sa may wheel wells to protect the paint, lalo if you're gonna go some light, very light off-roading. Also here sa may rocker panels. May konting contour din siya, just to give it a little bit of curves. Yung parang tawag doon yung Coke bottle effect. Here at the back, maganda din yung pag-shape ng LED tail lamps niya. So medyo 3D yung shape niya, 3-dimensional. So it looks very, very pinag-isipan talaga yung design aspect of the car. Hindi ko lang masyadong type dito, medyo sumobra na. These are fake tail lamp exhaust because it's just solid plastic. The real tail pipe is just a single pipe. It exits there sa baba, katago. Okay, so let's check out the inside. Okay, right. So right away, when you get in the cockpit of the One, you will notice that the dashboard is trying to be very futuristic. So we've got this big combination panel, tatlong panel yan. They call it a 12.3-inch virtual instrument cluster. So start up the engine is this button here. Okay, just to familiarize with the cockpit, medyo will take a while to figure out kasi this panel here is where you can manage your aircon. It's a dual zone climate for the Lux variant. So may panel ka dito, may window ka dito for the dual zone. Pero you can also manipulate it para it takes up the whole screen. Ganyan. So dual zone siya. Pero meron ding capacitive, is it capacitative, whatever. Panel here to control the aircon for the driver's side. There's one thing I noticed lang when you're driving and you're trying to, say, check out the menu for your CarPlay, and if you make the mistake of resting your hand here, you might turn off the aircon by mistake. So, yun lang. You have to be careful where you place your palm. Now, this panel here is also where you can manage your driving aids. So, MG's driving suite is called MG Pilot. So, you go to the home, then you swipe right. So, yung apat na windows niyan for the AC, the radio, the phone, and your CarPlay, Android Auto, that's not it. That's not everything. You have to swipe right, and then you can access your other controls. So, for the vehicle systems, you have a lot of options. So you have adaptive cruise, you have lane assistance, rear driving assistance, door open alert, blind spot detection, lane change assistance, rear cross traffic alert. Yung rear cross traffic alert niya can just be a sound or pwede rin siyang peperno sa'yo automatically if say may biglang tumawid na pedestrian, which happens a lot sa Pilipinas. May maatras ka na nga tapos may pipilit pang tatakbo sa likod ng kotse mo. So ganon, pipreno siya for you. Wala lang siyang automatic emergency braking, which is something that could have been added on. For convenience, you can set the car to automatically fold or unfold your mirrors. Meron din siyang auto door lock. Meron siyang unlock on when you turn off the power. It even has remote engine start. For their lighting, you have ambient lighting, static lighting. You can set the lights to be as OA as you want or just on lahat. Okay. For the central panel, which would be the instrument cluster in a normal car, navigating it requires you to use this multifunctional button pad here on the right. So if you scroll right, whoops, it can function as your volume button for your stereo, but when you press it, then it turns into parang siyang mouse or joypad. So, how do I am lost. Left. As you can see, it takes some practice. Ano ba to? Ayun. You have to press this button here with the two windows icon to switch it to Ayaw. What am I doing right? Ayun, okay. So, hindi siya ganun ka-user-friendly. I mean, like, I've had this car for 2 days now. I still get lost in the controls. Anyway, once you figure it out, the multi-information display here can show you your fuel efficiency. Right now, kasi we've been spending a lot of time idling and shooting, it's about 12.1 liters per 100 kilometers. So that's around 8 kilometers per liter. But once you're moving in the city, it gets a little over 10, which is a good number. Can also show your fuel consumption for the last 50 kilometers. So it's showing here 10.4. Pretty good. Puro city driving yan. May tire pressure monitor siya, although it shows it in bar, hindi PSI. So, you might have to do some mental math kung hindi ka sanay sa bar. Even shows your battery voltage. Okay. Clock. And can show you, it can sync. May parang virtual display siya to show yung mga blind spots mo. This panel here, I have a love-hate relationship with this touch panel here. Because this is the only way you can lock your doors or adjust your mirrors or even turn off your lights. Ang problem, kung hindi ka sanay, like the first time I drove it, I was looking for the door locks, how to adjust my mirrors. Kasi pag it has a mode na magba-blackout yan. So right now, naka-on siya palagi, so it's impossible not to know where it is. So if I want to adjust the mirrors, I have to tap this section of the panel here. Yan. Hold. So adjust siya. So left, right. If I want to lock the doors, meron ditong icon for a lock and unlock. If I want to turn off the headlamps or adjust the angle, meron din siya dito. Although honestly, this panel here could have been better served with traditional stalks and dials. I think MG just wanted to have a futuristic look in keeping with this one. For the sake of having it, long term, I'm not sure how this will last 5 years from now, kung medyo naluto na yan sa araw or something like that. Nobody knows. There's just something you need to get used to. Steering panel, yung steering column niya, it's adjustable for tilt, but it is not telescopic. No, it is not. However, and then if you set it low here, like I do, it tends to hide the top part of the cluster, so you kind of have to look down to see ano ba yun. And then because the instrument cluster shows your speed and engine speed in digital numbers, hindi siya yung analog design, it's hard to see it at a glance. So it would be nice kung meron siyang head-up display here, or if the speedometer was placed a little bit higher up. However, the seat, once you're belted in, it's very comfortable, very supportive. These seats, I like them better than the one in the ZS. So medyo substantial yung bolsters niya here for holding you in place. Steering wheel, flat bottom, feels familiar. I'm not sure if this is the same one that they use for the other models, but it's nice because leather wrapped siya, may perforation siya here where you would want to grip the wheel. Then you've got synthetic, or if you call it synthetic leather here on the door panels, the armrests. You have a full power moonroof and may tilt function pa siya to ventilate the car. If you don't want to use the sunroof, you can still cover it up with the fabric panel here. All right. Then for storage, you have a lidded console box here. It's big enough for power banks, sunglasses cases. Lidded covered cup holders. Although maliit siya, they can hold cups, pero yung mga oversized flasks, hindi yan kakasya. This tray here is a wireless charging panel. Then you have another storage area here underneath. It should be big enough for yung mga small pouches, standard glove box. There's nothing under the seat. There's no hidden storage under the seat. So now let's go check out the back. Okay. So upsizing from the ZS gives you a little bit more headroom and legroom here at the back seat of the One. So I'm 5'8". The seat in front is adjusted to my height. Got lots of room to stretch out or splay out. Even the center seat, the middle seat, is decent. Although yung likod niya, matigas siya kasi nga yung fold-out armrest. It's not a bad place. You get 2 vents here for your aircon. And there's 1 USB-A slot. Then fold out handholds, and then may lights ka pa. So pretty basic, but it's comfortable. And then the seat covers have built-in pockets. So it's good. Okay, now let's check out the cargo. Okay. Sorry, hindi siya power tailgate. Okay, so just like the ZS hybrid, you don't get power tailgates with the cars. Okay, but that's fine. Okay, so the basic cargo area holds 336 liters. So decent space, removable tonneau cover. And if you fold down the seat backs, you get about a little over 1,100. So I'll show you here. So it's very basic. So the space here is long enough to hold. This morning I transported one road bike, just have to remove the front wheel. Kung mountain bike yan, you might want to remove both wheels. Obviously, you can hold about 2 golf bags. Mga baleta, even the big one, you can hold several. So it's useful space. However, you'll note that the opening here is not that high. So mga balikbayan box might not fit unless ihiga mo siya, which might not work. So then yun lang. Right. With all that said, let's go for a drive. All right, so the MG1, as expected from a modern crossover, it's front-wheel drive only, so very simple drivetrain, wala nang all-wheel drive. I mean, as much as I like having all-wheel drive, the truth is not enough people really buy it, and you don't really need it unless you need a true four-wheel drive system, so mag-pickup truck ka na lang siguro. So this is front-wheel drive, but it has decent ground clearance, about 170 millimeters, so that's enough for light trails and yung mga lubak-lubak na kalye. Of course, you're not gonna go climb it up a curb. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but why, right? So it's basically very nice driving experience here in the city. Although we're here in somewhere in Cavite, wala nyo dala kung nasan. So very smooth suspension. It's very soft. So suspension is front struts and rear multi-link. It's not a torsion beam, so MG decided to invest in providing a good suspension. And it's soft, and there's quite a lot of suspension travel to really soak up the imperfections of the road. Although it is not a sporty feeling, kasi on undulating surfaces, there's quite a bit of ride motions kasi the suspension is moving up and down. Hindi siya harsh, so ang upside nun, hindi siya matagtag. Ang downside lang is it's always constantly moving. Hindi naman siya nakakahilo. It's just that when you want to push it hard, there's a lot of understeer, there's a lot of body roll, there's a lot of brake dive. So despite how it looks, you don't really want to push this car too hard. Now, there's a bit of a disconnect between the sporty aspect of the tires. They're 50 series 19-inch Continentals. Tapos malambot yung suspension. So the tires can actually grip more than the suspension is capable of handling. And because it is medyo performance-oriented yung tires, there is noticeable tread noise, especially at the faster you go or on rougher roads. Like right now, medyo maganda nga yung kalye, but I can still the tread noise is quite audible, so it's kind of distracting. And Continental is already a very quality tire, so it's just really a compromise you have to do with the profile of the tires. 50 series, so yung sidewall niya hindi ganun kalapad, and then yun nga, because may performance aspect yung tires, you just have to accept it na ganun talaga. Normally, pag gano'n ang counter ko dyan is tatasan ko yung volume ng stereo, which is what most people would do. So, except that this car particularly, I've been trying the whole morning. I just can't get the CarPlay to sync. I can't even sync up the basic Bluetooth to the stereo. So maybe there's something with the software. Parang ganito din experience namin with the Cyberster a few weeks ago. So maybe it's a software issue. As for the cockpit itself, like I said earlier, I love the comfort of the seats. Good bolsters here sa my waist and then sa my thigh. So it really keeps you in place. So hindi naman siya constricting. And then the steering wheel is nice to hold, it's nice to grip. Although yung responses niya, as I said, they are more relaxed than you would expect from something that looks sporty. And it is reinforced by the nature, the programming of the transmission. So there's only one transmission available. It's a CVT. You don't get manual shifting, anything. You just get this normal mode. And then Super Sport, you activate it by just pulling the shifter towards you. So that's all it does. There's normal and then Super Sport. Super Sport basically obviously makes the engine more responsive, but as far as I can tell, it doesn't really affect the steering response. So parang ganun pa rin yung steering effort, whether in normal or Super Sport. So it really has to do with the responsiveness of the transmission and the throttle response. Although normal is pretty good already, I only use Super Sport when I need to have an urgent overtaking maneuver or uphill and I don't want to lose any power. I want to reduce the power losses from the transmission. Then as for the user-friendliness of the cockpit, I really have mixed feelings about the design of this dashboard, especially with its emphasis on touchscreens and capacitive panels. At a glance, once nasanay ka na, okay na naman eh. I mean, like, I'm not really looking for physical dials and buttons as much. Except yung stereo, kung hindi ka sanay or nakaset siya to the information panel, if you press this multifunctional thingy here in the steering wheel, imbes na tumaas yung volume, ibang information pala na lumalabas dun sa cluster. So there's an extra movement. Why don't you just put a volume dial there? Aircon, no problem with that. But when you're flipping through the menus here, it's easy to accidentally turn off the aircon if you rest your palm against this panel here. So there's another one. And then it's not the easiest to flip through when you're driving and then you wanna turn off certain functions or turn it on. Maybe you have to look down, and of course that's distracted driving already. It's best to do those things when you're parked or when you're in slow-moving traffic. However, I like that it has a very good 360-degree camera. Kasi when you turn it on, you get a lot of camera angles to play with. You got the overhead, you got in front of you, you got behind you, and it basically covers all of the blind spots. So that's good. Let's try it in a while. So this being the Lux variant, it has a good suite of driving aids. So the adaptive cruise control, I really like that feature because it slows down and accelerates for you depending on if there's a car in front of you. So very useful. Lane assistance, also known as lane keeping. I tend to turn that off because I find it kind of intrusive. Rear driving assistance, yung blind spots, basically covers the blind spots. I like that. Blind spot detection, meron din siya. And by far the most useful is the rear cross traffic alert and the 360-degree camera system. So let's have a look at how comprehensive the coverage is here. So if I park like this beside a garbage can, so with this view, I can see behind me, I can see beside me. This is an overhead view. Naka-ghost image siya. And I see ahead of me. Is this behind me? No, it's ahead. Yeah, it's ahead of me. Right? This view shows what's ahead of me and beside. Now, if I tap this covers the sides. This is cover. Oh, the full 180 degrees, almost 180 degree coverage. And then may ghost view pa siya. What if I want to see the back? Oh, not that one. If I want to see the back, I have to switch to reverse. Yan. If you shift to reverse, the camera automatically switches to the back view. And by turning the wheel, these lines will represent how the car is oriented. Pretty useful. Does it have sonar? Let's see. Trasan natin. Let's see if it will warn me that I'm about to hit those poles. Yes. Ayos. Ayos. So for me, among all the features that this generation of advanced driving aids has developed, this is really by far the most useful feature that you can use kasi it really lowers anxiety when you're driving in yung mga masisikip na spots. Lalo na, let's say, matalahib or masisikip talagang very, very tight parking spots where you need to kind of do a 3-4 point maneuver. So it will save you from scratching your car, ideally. Okay, it's a nice drive. So overall, of course, having just driven the ZS Hybrid, I've still got that hangover. And if I'm a new car buyer and I'm looking to really get on the electrified bandwagon, that will be the first car that will be on my mind. However, for those who are not that into, who don't really feel the need for an electrified drivetrain, or they just want something simpler, but they also want a little more space and a lot of style, this is still something that deserves a closer look. Okay, so now let's go to our ratings. For performance, I have no complaints with the 1.5-liter turbocharged drivetrain. It is a very smooth and efficient engine. Malakas siya when you need it, pero matipid siya pag gusto mo lang isagarin talaga yung gasolina mo. The CVT, however, no complaints with how the CVT performs in city driving and all of that, of course, but there's no manual function. Wala man lang option to change your virtual speeds. It's just as normal and then super sport, and that's it. Although, it is very responsive. I would like a little more engagement. So for performance, I'll have to give it an 8 out of 10. Handling. It is not a sporty car despite how it looks. However, the suspension is well tuned to give you a very comfortable ride. And then when you push it hard, it can deliver within reason. Yung front strut, multi-link suspension niya is about at the limits. Actually, the front strut and rear multi-link suspension is tuned for comfort over hardcore performance. However, may konting mismatch between that and the riding quality of the tires. Kasi the road noise at speed, it kind of detracts from that comfortable or luxury feeling that the name of the variant might suggest. So, for handling, yes, it can handle. It's not a sports SUV. It's normal. Medyo may konting mismatch lang with the tires, so I'll have to give it an 8 out of 10. Styling. Oh yeah, madali lang yan. From almost any angle, it looks like it's a great looking crossover. It doesn't look generic. This front fascia really has a lot of character, and for all of the compromises that you have to deal with regards to the tires, I have to say, bagay siya. Maganda talaga yung stance niya. However, again, din sa interior, I think they went a little too far with the high-tech look of the dashboard. It kind of detracts from the user-friendliness. So for styling, I'll have to give it 9.5 out of 10. Would have been a 10 if not for that dashboard. For utility, so you got your basic crossover interior, fold-down seats. You got these roof rails, a normal complement of cup holders and storage, but nothing special there. So it's not really excelling at the utility aspect, so I'll just give it an 8 out of 10. Value for money. So you've got an almost complete suite of driver aids, got a sweet powertrain, great looking styling and all of that for about 1.4588888. So it's a decent amount of money. It's not cheap, it's not expensive, sakto lang siya. And so you've got so many features and attitude in a car that it's actually not that expensive when you think about it. So for value for money, I'll give it 8.5 out of 10. Overall, MG has a very balanced car in the one. Is it the one for me? Maybe, maybe not. Kasi right now I'm looking at the hybrid or plug-in hybrid configurations. Pero kung hindi naman yung hinahanap mo, gusto mo lang talaga ng gasolina, you don't want the complications of an electrified drivetrain, which is something to talk about in another video, you get a lot in this car. Guapo siya, a lot of features, reasonably useful, and it's really roomy inside for a compact or subcompact crossover. So for overall, I have to give it 8.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.